This week's chapter actually revealed so much information regarding PXG's system, this new Charles character who is their beating heart, how Loki operates as a coach, and even glimpses into the zesty demon himself, Shidou Ryuze. What's going on everyone, my name is Animasu, and I'll be covering the weekly Blue Lock chapter for you all as usual. Today we'll be taking a look at the 244th chapter, being titled PXG. If you enjoy the content I push out and would like to support me, please be sure and check that you're subscribed to the channel, commenting on my videos, and even join the community Discord if that interests you. Now that my winter break is officially here, I'm about to be absolutely cranking out content for you all. Anyways, please enjoy this video and let's get right into today's chapter. The intro text to the chapter says, by scouting out their rivals, the players are now understanding the trends behind the new Egoist League's auction market. Conquer the chaos on the field, mass-produce goals, and become the king of the new Egoist League. Today's chapter starts off with us in the Germany Stratum's 4-man rooms, where we see the roommates of Isagi, Corona, Yukimiya, and Hiyori. As we then see Corona just as the intro text says, they seem to be calculating just how exactly they got their values. Corona has deduced that scoring a goal will net you around a 30 to 50 million bid jump, which still doesn't seem consistent with what we've seen. It seems more like each goal is valued more than the last, so if you score 1 against a team it might be 30, but then next to get the brace it might be 50 million and so on. As we then see Yukimiya as well, he agrees that this seems about right. Isagi managed to bag 2 goals and 1 assist against Italy's Ubers, which netted him exactly a 100 million increase. Yuki even goes on to say that even if they took other factors into account, such as chances created, the amount would still add up, even though I kinda disagree here. If Isagi's defensive feats and chances created were taken into account on top of his 2 goals and assists, don't you guys think his value would have leaped even higher? Anyways, Hiyori too says that he even jumped up to a now 20 million bid value, thanks to the single assist that he got. The simplest way to explain it according to Hiyori is if you contribute to scoring goals, then your value will in turn increase. Corona, Hiyori, and Yuki are then all shown talking about how they need to prove themselves within the next match, and this panel is just absolutely hilarious. Corona is chanting about how he'll put on a show to survive, and Yukimiya is just tired of being called a mud boat. Our main man Isagi here is actually just chilling out in his bed, staring up at the NEL leaderboard on his iPad. He's fixated on how the difference between him and Itoshi Rin is now currently 30 million yen, so he could possibly overtake him in the rankings depending on the PXG match's outcome. And this absolutely badass panel here of Isagi standing atop a pile of bodies, he knows that the title of Blue Lock's #1 is finally possible. He wants more than anything to finally surpass, to defeat Itoshi Rin, and see the scenery from up top. Also, just a little fun fact, I believe that the 9 and 10 jerseys being shown in this body pile are meant to represent Kaiser and Itoshi Rin, so I just figured I'd point that out. Also, this scene here kind of parallels to the Season 1 opening trailer where it shows the body pile, but that's kind of obvious. Anyways, Yukimiya then snaps Isagi back into reality while telling him to get a move on. Hiyori and Corona too are also walking out of the room as the new Egoist League's 7th match is apparently about to start. Spain's FC Barcha versus France's PXG. The chapter then flashes forward to the Germany Stratum spectating room, as everyone is scattered around to watch the match. With Barcha vs PXG soon to begin, Itoshi Rin can be seen standing next to some other random player on the field. Raichi is rocking back and forth here while saying that it's time for them to learn about and scout out their next opponent, with even Gogamaru curious about how PXG operates. More than anyone though, Isagi Yoichi is absolutely locked into this monitor, as he needs to carefully analyze PXG and Rin to become #1. As the game finally then kicks off with Rin receiving the first pass, PXG's lineup too is then also shown. The notable players here are obviously Itoshi Rin up front solo, Nanase playing on the left wing, and also Tokimitsu slotted into the left midfield. The heavily talked about player Chappie too can be seen in the left back slot, and also there's some player called Debussy on PXG. Now who the hell named this poor French player that? Anyways, Isagi then points out the obvious fact of Rin playing as their lone striker, with Shidou starting his crazy ass on the bench. As always, our goat is just slumped in his seat looking all opium, just waiting for his chance to go feral. Itoshi Rin is then shown to be approaching both Bachira and Atoya, who are daring him to just try and pass them. If you just take a look here though on how goofy these two look, it now all makes sense on why FC Barcha can't catch a damn dub. Anyways, with Tokimitsu and Nanase calling out from behind Rin to assist, Isagi realizes exactly why this system works so well. Those two move with Rin to constantly provide him with the advantage in numbers, allowing him to consistently have passing options and flexibility. Rin trades off a pass here over to Nanase, who then also uses Tokimitsu as an anchor as he's fending off Bachira. Tokimitsu himself then sends off another pass actually behind Rin and Nanase, leaving them able to just sprint up the midfield. With Rin then glancing behind him at who the ball went through to, PXG's unknown number 6 now has possession here. Trapping the ball to then pop it up for an excellent pass, PXG's Charles has now found Itoshi Rin at the perfect time, just as he's broken through the defense. With Rin pulling his leg back as two defenders are on either side of him, Isagi too is even expecting it. Itoshi Rin's highly accurate curve shot that we've seen so many times before. As he then fires off the shot, however, in this amazing panel, Itoshi Rin does indeed sink the shot into the net. He did place the shot perfectly as normal too, however there's just one little problem for Isagi and Bayern Munich. This shot was not his normal curved one, but rather a devilish spinning mid-range shot that they've never seen. Everyone just seems amazed and shocked by Rin's new development, as he's now increased his scoring ability with even more spin variations. The new Itoshi Rin is an even deadlier threat all around and as a striker, and I hope to God Isagi takes inspiration to practice his own shot variation. A straight line direct shot isn't going to carry him to that number 1 spot, so he better get his ass to training over this break. Anyways, Julian Loki is then actually seen clapping his hands with a smile, as he now is requesting a substitution change for PXG. Yoichi and Isagi seem confused by this, but I'm sure you all know exactly what's to come. Itoshi Rin will now be coming off of the field, with Shidou Ryuze now being inserted into the chaos. That's not all though, because Tokimitsu and Nanase are actually being subbed out as well, with Karasu and Zantetsu being inserted in place of them. As the match once again restarts here with Bachira kicking off the ball, PXG's new formation is shown to be completely different. Karasu will now be playing on a more defensive midfield role just as he did in the U20 game. Shidou is obviously now their sole striker, and Zantetsu is over on their right wing. With the Toya having possession of the ball here, Karasu actually manages to immediately tackle the ball right out of his possession. The ninja and the assassin are once again facing off, with Karasu mocking his homie by actually making a raven noise. I swear these blue lockers need help. Karasu then fires off a pass away here to the big man Zantetsu, who's chugging up the wing like a train. Isagi immediately is pointing out how unlike before, this PXG formation is based around a style of counterattacks. The moment they gain possession of the ball, their main focus seems to be bursting off into these counters as Charles once again finds another crucial pass. With a high-arching pass on its way to Shidou, Kagamaru even says that it's too fast and too out of the way for Shidou to get. We all know exactly how the Zesty Demon is though, so after somehow speaking a skull emoji out loud, basically emoting on the defenders, Shidou Ryuze then bangs out another goal for France's PXG, leaving everyone in total shock. As usual with the reaction to any Shidou goal, everyone is just blown away by how strange, out of position, and out of pocket it was. The Bayern Munich players also realize how powerful PXG has now become, with their two amazing striking talents scoring. They are now a dangerous team with two specifically stylized teams that tailor to both Itoshi Rin and Shidou Ryuze's needs. Isagi and Yuri, however, have both noticed something completely different, actually relating to the person passing and how Shidou received it. Apparently the guy who sent it did everything intentionally, tailoring it specifically to Shidou's tendencies. Raichi, Corona, and Gagamaru all seem confused at who or what they're analyzing, however Isagi and Yuri simply continue on. Apparently the assist to Itoshi Rin too was a pinpoint pass with backspin, which allowed Rin to have even more scoring options there. That, on top of this player having a good understanding of how Shidou's instinctive playstyle works, and matching up with Rin's playmaking and vision. As this blonde short player is once again shown on the monitor, Isagi reveals the real reason PXG can operate with this polar opposite system. This new player, France's number 6 Charles Chevalier, is actually the heart of PXG. With us getting a full page dedicated to this new player as well, I'm already noticing some interesting details about him. First of all, Charles seems to be a very young player, probably around Nico's age just visually looking. He also has this badass eye design that we've never seen before, alongside a literal fang coming out from his mouth. Make sure to let me know down in the comments what you think this guy is all about, as I'll be dropping a video tomorrow talking all about everything we know about him, my theories, and some of yours as well. The outro text here then says, PXG's strength is revealed to be a double standard system, which maximizes the strengths of their two opposing strikers, Rin and Shidou. As the two steal all of the attention, who is the skilled maestro playing behind them, bringing out the best from these polar opposite strikers? I mean, even the outro text is hyping up Charles to be this big deal, which is probably why people keep throwing out the new gen allegations just like they did with Chappie. This community just wants everyone to be a new gen, I guess. Anyways, with that being the end of today's chapter, all that we're left with is chapter 245's upcoming title, being Die All at Once. Now I personally have no clues for what this could relate to, but maybe it will either show us the end of the PXG vs Barcha match, or maybe even some of the Ubers vs Manshine match. Let me know what you guys would personally be more excited to see, because I'm curious on how Nagi and Rei are actually holding up. Anyways, with that being the end of today's video, I just want to thank you all so much once again for tuning in and supporting me. I'm so sorry for the lack of cool and unique uploads over the last 3 weeks, but college has just been kicking my ass and Christmas break is now here. I promise to make it up to you all. If you'd like to keep up with these upcoming uploads, please be sure to check that you're subscribed to the channel, comment on all my videos, and even check out my community Discord if that interests you. I hope you all continue to have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.